Hi everyone, I'm Epicharismatic, and today I want to talk about this trend I've seen on social media of small business owners bragging about how much they charge for their services. Now, I do want to give a disclaimer. Please don't harass anybody I mentioned today. I'm only here to talk against the messages they're putting out. I don't want them to be threatened in any way. All right, let's get started. So, in this TikTok, we could see that this business owner is a baker, a home baker making cookies, and she's sitting here saying that she used to only charge $40 a dozen? Only? Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. First of all, $40 is too much, let alone anything more than that. That's insane. And listen, I have a major sweet tooth myself, and even I wouldn't pay $40 for a dozen cookies. Also, how much do you want to bet she doesn't offer delivery? Usually, home bakers who sell baked goods from their home require you to pick up your orders. And hear me out. I'm waiting for some cookies to be delivered to me as we speak, and best believe they don't cost $40. So, of course, I had to look at the comments. This person here said, "My local bakery isn't even half that ridiculous price." And then this person, cookie dough and frosting is like $5. Local grocery store, $13. Like, come on. So you know what? I had to go into the comments and figure out, okay, fine. If she's not charging $40 a dozen anymore, how much is she charging? And then I find this response to this comment. So this comment says, if somebody said $40 for cookies, I'd laugh at this. This is nonsense. That's not knowing your worth. That's foolish. I'm paraphrasing a bit there because I can barely see it. But anyways, then she says, who is going to tell him I charge $70 per dozen? Ma'am, you have no... you have a right. I'm not going to say you have no right, literally. But, girl, in this economy, I think even if we were in a thriving economy, no one would pay that. I think the only way you could get off charging something like this for something like that is for a wedding, because weddings are so crazy expensive and a lot of families are willing to shell out all that money as like a way to show off how much wealth that they have. Like, oh, I could pay for my child's wedding. And look at us, we're ballers. But like for anything else, anything less than a wedding, even a wedding, that's too much. That's a whole separate conversation. But for anything that's not a wedding, $70 for a dozen of cookies? Cookies? That is insane. That's insane. And she's not the only one doing things like this. So we got this other TikTok here where this lady is a wedding planner. So, okay, see here now you can kind of understand why she would be charging more, right? I think weddings are the only situations when it comes to baked goods or really anything in general where you could really overcharge and there's people willing to pay. This person said, I'm a wedding planner and I can honestly say I've done high-end weddings with cakes from celebrity bakers for less. All right, so literally celebrities wouldn't pay this price. But then here she is going, congratulations, sis, want a cookie? And showing a $4.4 thousand cake. Cake. This is food. It's food. Like, it just doesn't make sense to pay that much for something you consume in general. And I think I saw a comment that said something about, oh, it better be encrusted with gold if it's, if it's going to cost that much. And it's like, I agree, and it's not. It's literally not. And I don't understand it. I don't understand what these small business owners are thinking. Here's something that I think might be going on in this situation. This is kind of the commentary that I have to put when it comes to this conversation. What these small business owners don't understand is that the services they offer or the products they offer are luxuries. They are not necessities. And right now, we are living in a time where people are struggling with this economy, myself included. And we don't have a lot, if any money to be spending on anything that's not necessary, let alone $40, or excuse me, not 40. How could I? How could I even think about the time that she spent 40? She's worth way more than $40. $70 for 12 cookies, a dozen cookies. And you saw those cookies. They don't look that amazing. I mean, well, you saw one of them. It's nothing special. $70 for 12 cookies. $4,400 for a wedding cake. In this economy? And don't even get me started on hair. So many hairstylists are wondering why people don't tip or people don't tip enough. And they want to say things like, if you don't have enough money to tip, you can't afford the service at all. And it's like, you do realize that you're ruining your own business, right? Like, you do understand that with that kind of mentality, you're going to have a lot less customers than more. Like, how is that better? Like, is it because without the tips, you'd be operating at a deficit? I really hope that's not the case, because if it is, you need to get into a different business. Because again, getting your hair done is a luxury. It's absolutely not a necessity. You can wash and clean your hair at home and have your hair look fine. You could even color your own hair at home. It might not look as good as a salon. It might not be as enjoyable a process as a salon. But if you can't afford something, you can't afford something. I just think something else that these small business owners don't understand is that if they actually want to succeed, they have to be competitive somehow. And like these comments were saying for the bakers, like there are local bakeries, even grocery store bakeries that sell what you sell but for cheaper. Why should I buy from you? Tell me. Tell me, what makes your product better than their product that you're charging me this much? And it's funny because I'm surprised that these people get any clients at all, considering how much that they charge for their products or services. But it's like, clearly they get some. And the way they're talking on social media, I wouldn't be surprised if they just get less and less, because it's coming off as greedy. It's coming off as cocky and arrogant. And again, you're not in this, like, I think that they have it twisted. They have it twisted like they're on top and we're inferior to them. And if we are refusing to pay what they want us to pay, then we're too broke for them. When the reality is they're charging way too much. Like, again, it's just food. It's just hair. It's not a necessity. And with the food, you could get it for way less. Girl, please. And then this baker had the nerve to say, men have no problem charging what they're worth for their products, in response to a comment mentioning how a lot of mechanics will charge based off of time instead of what the service is. Girl, first of all, a mechanic provides a necessary service, first of all. A car is a necessity. You can't get to work without a car. You really can't get anywhere without a car unless you live in a major city. So it's not comparable already. Already you can't compare. It's not because they're men, it's because of the industry they're in. If you owned your own mechanic shop, whatever they call it, car shop, you could do the same thing and it wouldn't be as controversial. It wouldn't be as controversial. You wouldn't have as many people laughing in your face about it. Because a car is a necessity and $70 cookies just aren't. They just aren't. They're a luxury. And I think what these small business owners really need to understand is that if their head continues to be this big, they're going to just go out of business. And it's really dumb. It's really stupid. I think you shouldn't. It's such an unnecessary problem to have. That's just how business goes. You'll have times of feast or famine. You'll have times where you're really thriving, but then you'll have your lean times where you really gotta cut back on expenses. You probably have to lower your prices a bit just to have customers, you know? And it's just part of the process of being a business owner, being an entrepreneur. You can't get the good without the bad. And everybody knows it's unstable. Owning your own business, you're gonna get unstable income. And you really should just be accepting that and understanding of that, especially because, again, most customers aren't trying to be stingy. We are in a recession right now. Whether economists admit it or not, we're not in good economic times right now. So to be demanding all of this money for cookies or for your hair to be done. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it must be stopped. That's my take on this topic. If you guys agree with me or disagree with me, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know if I missed the mark with this one, if there's anything I'm missing, or if you just agree wholeheartedly and are like, yeah, this is out of control and people need to calm down when it comes to how much they're charging for their products or services. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm Epicharismatic, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.